If I told you that Squid Game is not really about a killing game, but about a social structure that we all participate in every day, would you believe it? The reason this series became a global phenomenon is not simply because of violence or shock value, but because it presents the logic of modern social competition in the most direct and accessible way. In this video, my central argument is that Squid Game critiques modern society through the format of a survival game, specifically exposing debt pressure, class inequality, and the illusion of free choice. Because these issues are globally shared, the series resonates across cultures. I will analyze this from three perspectives. Squid Game tells the story of individuals who are trapped by debt, failure, or social marginalization and are invited to participate in a series of games based on childhood activities. The rules are simple. Those who win advance and those who lose are eliminated, meaning death. In the end, only one winner receives a massive cash prize. At first glance, the participants appear to enter the game voluntarily. They sign contracts and even vote to leave the competition. However, the key issue emerges when they return to real life and realize that reality is even more brutal than the game itself. Overwhelming debt, unemployment, and family pressure leave them with almost no viable alternatives. As a result, they choose to return to the game. This reflects one of the series' most important critiques. In conditions of structural inequality, choice often exists only as an illusion. The series presents social class divisions in an extremely direct way. At the top are the VIPs. They do not work or take risks. Instead, they consume the suffering of others as entertainment. In the middle are the masked managers. They do not question the rules, but exist solely to enforce them. At the bottom are the players. They compete against one another, eliminating each other in a struggle for survival. This three-tier structure mirrors the unequal distribution of power and resources in real society. The choice of childhood games is not accidental. Such games usually symbolize innocence, fairness, and simplicity. In Squid Game, however, the simpler the rules, the more extreme the consequences of failure. This sharp contrast forces viewers to recognize that the problem lies not in individual effort, but in the fairness of the system itself. Korean production, its themes are not limited to Korea. Debt, income inequality, and competitive pressure are realities faced by people in many countries. Combined with Netflix's global release and highly recognizable visual elements such as costumes, masks, and game symbols, the series was easily transformed into memes and widely shared on social media. As a result, it represents not just a successful Korean drama, but a major breakthrough of the Korean wave in a global cultural context. From a cultural perspective, Squid Game succeeds in packaging social critique within popular entertainment, making complex social issues accessible and discussable. At the same time, the series raises concerns such as whether violence is overly commodified and whether certain characters are reduced to mere symbols. Nevertheless, these controversies themselves contribute to broader public discussion. Ultimately, Squid Game became a global phenomenon, not only because it tells a thrilling story, but because it exposes the structural problems of the society we live in. When life is designed as a competition, the real question may not be who wins, but whether the game itself is fair.